Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Thursday, August 17th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's Fight for the Fallen episode of AEW Dynamite, broadcast live on TBS from the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. In the final segment, the Young Bucks defeated the Gunn Brothers, but were then the target of a run-in by Juice Robinson and Jay White until AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR made the save, ending the show with a face-off between the Bucks and FTR, who are scheduled to be opponents at All In.
Trilogy coming up at All In London. We can only assume that FTR, they want the Young Bucks at 100% at Wembley Stadium. They want no asterisk. They want to see who is the greatest tag team of all time. And we will find out on Sunday, August 27th, All In London, AEW World Tag Team Championship, FTR versus the Young Bucks, Part 3.
Robinson and White also took part, along with Konosuke Takeshita, in a beatdown of Kenny Omega that occurred during Omega's sit-down interview with Jim Ross. Afterwards, Hangman Adam Page made a challenge for a trios match at All In, pitting himself, Omega, and Kota Ibushi against White, Robinson, and Takeshita. Takeshita also took part in a sneak attack of Chris Jericho during a promo segment in which Jericho refused to join Don Callis' stable. Takeshita was joined in the attack by Will Ospreay until Sammy Guevara made the save for Jericho. In yet another in-ring promo attack, AEW World Champion MJF and Adam Cole were jumped by their All-In opponents, Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions Aussie Open, but Cole and MJF were successful in running them off. The opening match saw International Champion Orange Cassidy retain his title against Wheeler Yuta. A brawl erupted after the match, pitting Cassidy, Best Friends, Lucha Brothers, and a returning Eddie Kingston against the Blackpool Combat Club. Following the brawl, Kingston challenged the BCC to a Stadium Stampede match at All In. In other results, Darby Allin and Nick Wayne defeated the Gates of Agony, House of Black sneak attacked the Acclaimed, Britt Baker beat the Bunny to earn a spot in the AEW Women's Title 4-Way at All In, and Jeff Jarrett pinned Jeff Hardy in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre match that saw interference from Leatherface.
What's Leatherface? No, Leatherface! What the? Jeff Jarrett said he's going to have Leatherface in his corner. Jeff, get out of there! Oh, no, not Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett, he thought he could control Leatherface. Well, apparently he's wrong.
In more AEW news, a fifth unnamed wrestler has allegedly been blocked from appearing at Collision tapings by CM Punk, according to a new report from SE Scoops. It's previously been noted that Hangman Adam Page, Nick Nemeth, Christopher Daniels, and Matt Hardy have been sent home from Collision as well. The identity of the fifth wrestler remains unknown, although a previous conflict between Punk and Jack Perry had been reported as taking place during AEW's Canadian Collision tapings last month. The report noted that some in the AEW locker room are frustrated over Punk's alleged actions and how those actions are being permitted by Tony Khan, although they have shied away from public criticism. The report also cites backstage heat on Tony Khan from some AEW talent and staff who have complained about what they perceive as a lack of leadership from the AEW president, as well as confusion regarding the upcoming All In pay-per-view from Wembley Stadium. Said one unnamed talent to SE Scoops, quote, "A lot are upset about Wembley. Maybe if it were just Wembley, it would be different. But with everything that's happened over the last year, it's becoming the one major issue. People want to know if they're going to London, what the card is going to be. It's a show everyone wants to be on. It's like our WrestleMania 3 or maybe our WrestleMania 1, but there isn't any urgency. People are scared we aren't going to live up to this moment." End quote. In ratings news, last Tuesday's episode of NXT drew a total audience of 680,000 viewers to USA Network, according to WrestleNomics. That number is down more than 12% from last week's audience of 776,000. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was 0.19, down from last week's key demo rating of 0.23 and representing 249,000 viewers. And in more WWE news, Lacey Evans is done with the company, according to a report yesterday from Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter and confirmed by PW Insider. Evans fueled the strong speculation on her departure when she posted to social media on Tuesday that she would only be going by her real name of Macy Estrella going forward. Estrella had been with WWE since 2016, spending her first 2.5 years in NXT before being called up to the main roster at the beginning of 2019. She had only been semi-active since last year, with her last WWE appearance being a dark match loss to Zelina Vega on the July 7th SmackDown from Madison Square Garden. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.